This is getting insane. Why? Because there's one character who may still be a long way from release, but has been on players' radar for ages, and that character is Nicole Reeyn. So yes, today we will talk about her because some very early leaks about her have been going around, but over the past week, more solid information has started to appear about how her kit might actually work in the game, and how will she power creep Varka and Durin. So in today's video, I want to cover everything we know so far, go over all the leaks that have come out up to now, and most importantly, discuss latest leaks, what her real role could be if this direction ends up being confirmed. There are some details here that I think a lot of people might underestimate at first glance. Now, before we begin, a quick word for our sponsor. You can actually save up to 25% on latest banners through Lootbar. Personally, I lost my 50/50 and I just bought the 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for $76 instead of $100. That's an instant $24 saved. Not only the discount, but the top-up process couldn't be easier. I entered my UID, selected my server, and within 2 minutes, the crystals arrived in my account. Plus, the double bonus for first-time purchases has been refreshed with the anniversary, so you can take advantage of that too. With over 100,000 satisfied users with 5-star rating, it's really my go-to choice for both personal top-ups. And here's a bonus. New users get an extra 10% discount, while returning users can save up to 5%. You can find the link in the description below or in pinned comments, so don't miss out. Now, we need to talk about the timing because that completely changes how this information should be viewed. Based on current leaks, Nicole is expected to release around version 6.6, which is still quite far away. And when a character shows up this early in leaks, it's almost guaranteed that a lot will change before release. Numbers get adjusted, kit roles are refined, and in some cases, entire parts of a character are reworked. So nothing being discussed right now should be treated as final. The best way to see this is as an early concept, a base idea of what Nicole could eventually become in the game. And that concept already stands out because it breaks the usual pattern. So we know for sure that she is a pyro character, mostly a catalyst, but the main rumor is that Nicole would be a pyro character who provides a shield. Now, that alone already puts her in a very different position. Right now in Genshin, the pyro character with somewhat good shield is Thoma, and even then, he has never really been a dominant sustain. In general, pyro characters are almost always focused on damage and drops in DPS category. Sustains from this element are rare. I mean, till this day, no one could power creep Bennett, and that's exactly where Nicole starts to stand out. Just the idea of a pyro support focused on protection already breaks a long-standing design logic in the game. When we look at Genshin's history, this kind of shift starts to make even more sense. There are several early 4-star characters that are still extremely strong today, like Xiangling and Bennett. Over time, some of them have gained direct substitutes or strong alternatives, such as Yelan filling a similar role to Xingqiu. More recently, Durin becoming playable and effectively taking Xiangling's spot in many team comps where she used to be the best option. These kinds of replacements don't happen often, and when they do, they usually involve very powerful characters. That's why the idea of Nicole replacing Bennett doesn't sound that crazy. Bennett is still one of the most broken characters in the game. Healing, base attack bonus, pyro application, and easy fit into almost any team. Creating a character who can truly compete with that requires a very well-designed kit. If Nicole really ends up being a pyro support focused on buffs and sustain, we could be looking at one of the most impactful releases in the game's history. And the key point isn't just that she has a shield, but how that shield works within her kit. Listen, if it's just a simple shield with a little interaction, her value will mostly depend on how strong it is and how easy it is to keep active. But if that shield is tied to pyro application, helps enable elemental reactions, and also comes with meaningful team buffs, especially something similar to Bennett's base attack bonus, then the impact changes completely. In that case, Nicole wouldn't just be good, she would likely be one of the best supports in the game. this idea becomes even stronger when we look at her place in the lore. Nicole is connected to the Hexen Circle, and anyone who follows the story knows that the witches are not minor or irrelevant characters. They are tied to major narrative cores, important events, and central mysteries of Teyvat. Characters with this kind of lore weight usually arrive strong in gameplay as well, which reinforces the idea that her kit could be well above average. You can also think that Hoyo is waiting for Nicole to establish a new team in which Alice can take charge as a main DPS, which will happen mostly after Nodcry era ends. So, on top of that, Nicole's connection to the Hexen Circle opens the door for very specific synergies. It's very likely that Nicole will have passives that interact directly with other characters tied to this group, especially Varka. According to version 6.4 beta leaks, Varka has a Hexen Circle passive that requires 2 Pyro, Electro, or Cryo characters in the team. Right now, the team considered ideal for him uses Durin and Bennett. If Nicole really comes in as a more complete Pyro support, it makes perfect sense for her to replace Bennett in that composition. When you put all this information together, everything lines up almost too neatly to feel like a coincidence. As for her weapon, the only rumor so far is that Nicole would be a Catalyst user. This can still change, but it fits the concept very well. Catalysts allow for more consistent elemental application and give more flexibility for kits focused on utility, buffs, and control, which matches a support role perfectly. In the end, what we have so far is the outline of a Pyro character with a shield expected around version 6.6, possibly using a Catalyst with a kit focused on sustain and buffs, and maybe even filling the role that currently belongs to Bennett. None of this is final, and it's important not to set rigid expectations. Still, the overall direction suggests that Nicole is not meant to be a major damage dealer, but rather a character designed to make teams safer, more stable, and more consistent, especially in content where a single small mistake can completely break a rotation. Now, let's talk about the latest leaks in the community. So, according to the latest information, Nicole Reeyn is expected to finally become playable in version 6.6, not in version 6.5, and she will not be arriving alone. A new character named Gretle is also rumored to debut in the same update. Gretle is expected to be a 4-star Pyro character, while Nicole herself will be a 5-star Pyro support unit. So, that means 6.5 have very high chances to feature Lohen. In previous leaks, we discussed that Lohen and Nicole will come together, but that's not the case as of now. So, since we're talking about Lohen, next big leaked info is that Lohen will not be a cryo unit. Instead, he is expected to wield an electrovision, which completely changes his role in team compositions. Current information points toward Lohen being a playable 5-star Electro Polearm character in an upcoming update, which will be added to the permanent banner after version 6.5. That's all the information we have for now. So do let me know in the comments what you think about these Nicole and Lohen leaks as well as rumors so far. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel because we are so close to 2,000 subs and one more giveaway is waiting for you once we hit that target. Well, that's all from my side. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Also, do check out Lootbar for 25% discount on your next top-up. The link is in the description.